Good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City, broadcasting from the heart of New York City to everywhere, to people all over the country and in other countries. We want to say welcome, welcome, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. We're glad that you're with us. We want to welcome you all. I know some of you are still signing in. We have our Louise, our self-healing class every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. I also want to announce Jimmy facilitates our Creative Living series, and he has guest speakers on Wednesday evening at 7. So tune in on Wednesdays also, the same Zoom links. And every Sunday morning we have a lesson. We have a 10:45 a.m. meditation followed by a lesson at 11, same Zoom links. We're about ready to start. We appreciate all your comments. We get your comments from Facebook, comments from Instagram, comments from YouTube. All of our broadcasts are rebroadcast. They can be found there an hour or two after we initially go live with them. So many of these lessons, if you want to listen to them again and again, just go to our YouTube channel and or go to our Facebook page. Some of you have asked about making donations to the center. Let me say first that all of our classes that we have here on Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, our gatherings are free. Some of you have asked about making donations, and we certainly appreciate love offerings. So in the chat room, you'll see links to all the different ways you can support the center if you so wish. The most important thing to us always is that you're here and you keep tuning in and let yourself be bathed in this positive, life-altering, life-changing information. That's the main thing. I'm gratified, we're gratified by seeing the numbers of you who are actually putting the teaching and putting the things that, the different methods, the different suggestions that we give you to use. So it's really wonderful to hear you share, and after every gathering, there's a time for your personal sharing. So no matter if you're a longtime follower of the science of mind or a newcomer that come in through the teachings of Louise Hay, your presence here is a gift to our community. Today we're going to get into a theme that resonates deeply with our values on honoring the self, embracing self-love, and self-healing. This theme is particularly poignant considering Louise Hay's significant contributions to this center. Louise was a student, a practitioner, and she was on our ministerial staff here at First Church in New York. Her teachings, which mirror our core beliefs, continue to inspire and guide us on our path. Today, our lesson is entitled Inner Peace, Outer Impact. So I've got it broken down into a few sections. First, I want to say as we embark on this journey of self-discovery, let's reflect on a powerful insight from Louise Hay. Of all the judgments we pass in life, none is as important as the one we pass on ourselves. Again, of all the judgments that we make in life, none is as important as the one that we make upon ourselves. This statement invites us to have some introspection and consider how we think about ourselves, not with judgment, but with understanding and compassion. And when you think of yourself, that's kind of a question. Do you think of yourself with compassion? Or are you a constant critic of yourself? I encourage you to think about these questions, allowing them to guide your thoughts and your feelings. Here's my first question. How do I view myself at this very moment, today? Have you thought about yourself today? I always ask the question, what's it been like being you in this class? But for tonight, I'm asking, how do I view myself at this very moment? Just notice. These are questions for you just to take a mental note of. Here's the next question. What are the qualities that you admire most about yourself? So you could ask that question of yourself. What are the qualities I most admire about myself? And what comes up for you? You don't like the question, but it's a good question. What are the qualities I admire most about myself? See, we're not always used to thinking of ourselves that way, but this is what this class is inviting us to do, to ask questions like, how do I view myself at this very moment was the first question. And the second, what are the qualities I admire most about myself? And think about that. Sometimes there's an uncomfortability with that. It's like when we're suggesting you do some mirror work. You look into the mirror and you give yourself some love, or you say, I love, accept, and approve of you exactly as you are. And you look in your eyes and you say that. What are the thoughts that come up for you when you do that? Are there still thoughts of I'm not good enough, or you notice what's wrong or what's missing? And again, the question, how do I think of myself or view myself in this moment? Whatever comes up in the way of answers are very telling. It's not good or bad, it's just, it gives you information. Here's another good question to ask yourselves. In what ways have I had resilience and strength in my life? So this is a question of reflection. In what ways have I had or shown resilience and strength in my life? This gives you an opportunity to get in touch where you've been strong and remember that. And the next question I think I ask you every week, if you come in here often, or you tune in often, what's my self-talk like? What is my self-talk like? Very similar to my question, my weekly question, what has it been like being you? That's that inner dialogue that I talk about that's creative and so important, the most important conversation that you ever have. And the next question is, what is my inner dialogue? So think about these things, because those thoughts, those things that you're answering for yourself as I'm asking those questions are very, very creative. Life is responding to you. It responds to what you really believe. So let's embrace these affirmations, which are rooted in the principles of self-love and acceptance. So I'm going to give you some antidotes or some really powerful things to say to yourself. The first is, I love myself. I'm worthy of love and respect just as I am. And you can say that to yourself. You can say that in the mirror. I love myself. I'm worthy of love and respect just as I am. Another great affirmation, my challenges are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. This is particularly good if you're going through a challenging time. My challenges are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. And if you're a person that's going your own way, and maybe people are giving you a tough time, or something's coming up for you, here's a great affirmation. I am unique in all the world. I am a unique individual with my own path and purpose. And that's true. We're all individualizations of this one energy, this one life. And so this is a great affirmation. I am a unique individual with my own path and purpose. And that's very true. So that might be one that would be nice to embrace. Another, I choose to celebrate my progress, not just my achievements. And here's another one that's good if maybe you're going through a particularly difficult time. A great affirmation. I'm capable of overcoming obstacles with grace and courage. And you can repeat that to yourself. You can use that one in front of the mirror and look in your eyes and tell yourself, I love you, I love, accept, and approve of you, and then I'm capable of overcoming obstacles with grace and courage. So it is, you would say. Another, I honor my journey, knowing each step brings me wisdom and strength. This goes to the fact that everything that's happening to us is happening for us. Every lesson, every stumbling block becomes, in fact, a lesson that advances us. So this is a wonderful affirmation. And here it is again. I honor my journey, knowing each step brings wisdom and strength. Now, as you reflect on any of these affirmations or all of these affirmations, consider these additional rhetorical questions to deepen the ideas. How have my experiences shaped the person that I am today? It's a great question to ask yourself, to journal about. How have my experiences shaped the person that I am today? Everything that you have been through, everything that has shown up in your life that's been an obstacle, has actually been a stepping stone to greater understanding. There's a line from the Course in Miracles that I've always been in love with, which you've heard me say time and again, which is, it takes great wisdom to understand that all events, circumstances, and happenings are helpful. So with this affirmation, how have the experiences shaped the person? How have my experiences shaped the person that I am today? So you can think about that. Your childhood, the overcomings, the things that you've been through, your relationships, the things you've won and things you've lost. All of these experiences have shaped you into being the person you are today. So you reflect on that a little bit. Another question to deepen your understanding and introspection. In moments of doubt, how can I remind myself of my inherent worth? That's a question that came up in a recent class. What do I do when I'm in doubt? I remember when I was very young and I was in parochial school, that was called, the prayer of St. Peter was, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. So the question here is, in moments of doubt, how can I remind myself of my inherent worth? I have lots of suggestions for that, but I'm going to leave it to you too. How would you remind yourself of your inherent worth when you're in a place of doubt? The next question for you to think about in tonight's class that's full of affirmations and questions: what steps can I take to be more compassionate and more understanding towards myself? It's a wonderful question. Many of us, from the time we're young, have been taught to go take care of the world, our brothers, our sisters, and everyone. But this is a different kind of question. What steps can I take to be more compassionate and understanding towards myself? Louise, remember, said all healing is self-healing. So that question again, what steps can I take to be more compassionate and understanding towards myself? What steps can I take to be kinder towards the most important person in your world? Another great question: how does my self-perception influence my relationships and interactions with other people? Just think about that. How does my self-perception influence my relationships and interactions with other people? Just think about that. If you're really self-accepting and self-approving, how does that show up in your interactions with others? Or if you're really critical and you don't see yourself in a positive light, how might that influence your relationships and interactions with others? All the affirmations I've given you so far and the questions are not just words. These questions and these affirmations are tools for self-empowerment, and they're pathways to a deeper understanding of our true selves. These would be good questions to write down. This would be a good lesson to go back and listen to on YouTube or on our Facebook page. As you gain insight around these questions and you work with these affirmations, you'll be moving yourself along quite a ways towards self-empowerment. These exercises are here to encourage us to honor our journey and to embrace the power of self-love and our quest for healing and for our desire to grow spiritually. So you might want to revisit this lesson from time to time. It's going to be available for you in another hour or two on YouTube and Facebook. The next section I want to get into this evening is about our journey. And Louise Hay at one point said, in our journey of self-discovery, remember, we're not alone. There's a gentle guiding spirit within, always at work. I call it the corrective principle. Ralph Waldo Emerson would say that there is that voice that's there, and it's wooing us, helping us, guiding us. It guides us forward all the time with grace and ease. So that's very comforting to know that deep at the center of your being, there is this energy, this spirit. Nobody has to scold you or tell you if you're right or wrong. There is that which is within you that knows, and it reveals itself to you. This is Spirit's work. It's unfolding always within you and through you, guiding, wooing, guiding towards greater self-awareness and healing. If we slow down, we slow down because we're moving too fast. You'll get the guidance, I promise you. Louise Hay beautifully said, I trust in the process of life. This wasn't just a phrase that she was saying. This is a warm and deep embrace. She trusts in the guidance that she's going to get from this inner power. It's always reassuring us that we're on the right path, even when things seem uncertain. I trust in the process of life. Let's explore our inner relationship with this comforting thought in mind. I trust in the process of life. Louise states, we've been criticizing ourselves for a very, very long time. And since the time we're almost children, we were programmed with so much information. In my recent classes, I've uncovered some facts that I've been looking at where most of the world, I don't mean the people who are on our call, our gathering, tends to be negative, like 3/4 of the time. You have to know, if there's that kind of negativity going on, then it's going to produce some very unpleasant circumstances. So Louise was going up against, the reality of the world, what we'll call the collective thinking, and she was saying, I trust the process of life. And she was inviting us all to begin that journey where we understand that we're one with life, we're one with the one, that we are individualizations of this one life, that everything we need, we already have. It's a journey, an inner journey without a distance, and to go there and to trust the process of life. She says, we've been doing it the other way. We've been critical for so long. She says, why not try the positive approach? Why not try affirming ourselves? Why not try a different route where we love, accept, and approve of ourselves exactly as we are, knowing that we're all evolving, or as my teachers used to say, we're evoluting along, we're learning and we're growing. I'll get to another portion in this evening's lesson. It's never compare yourself to anyone else, and never criticize yourself. You're in the perfect place, the perfect time, and all the time. Next, I'm going to move into a little section where I've already mentioned it. We have a tendency to be critical, too critical. Louise Hay had an aversion to the word should, because she said wherever anyone uses it, or just about anywhere you use it, you're making somebody wrong. You're making yourself wrong, somebody else wrong. You're saying what you should have done, they should have done. And she would love to banish the word from the English language. And I would say all of its synonyms. So we have a tendency to be critical, and we strive towards perfectionism. And so here's something you might say to yourself when you're being very hard on yourself. Remember, this is an opportunity for growth. When you're going through something difficult, please don't beat yourself up. Tell yourself this is an opportunity for growth, or as my dad used to say to me, this is an exciting challenge, because the universe is gently nudging us always towards self-compassion. Trusting life means accepting and embracing imperfections as steps toward learning and growth. We're all perfect in the sense that we're whole and complete, and we're individualizations of God life. But as we grow, and we're here to grow and learn and expand, there's going to be lots of mistakes. And as we've said so many times in so many lessons, just because we've made the mistakes doesn't mean we are a mistake. We are spiritual beings living a human life, and we're here to grow, and we are growing. The way to look at it from a religious science standpoint is nothing's happening to us. Everything is happening for us, because everything ultimately turns into a lesson that brings us to a higher place. Louise said, and I've already said in this lesson, never, never, never criticize, she said, the self, yourself. Never, never. And stop comparing yourself to others. It's always, always a mistake. When you look at what they look like, what they have, or what they don't have, please, everybody's in the perfect place, perfect time, and we're all evolving. And we're not here to judge anyone, and we're not here to judge ourselves either. Your journey is as unique as you are. I've said to some of my students, since I first arrived here in this city, you are an individualization of God life. There's never been another one like you, and there never will be. Your journey is unique and special. The universe itself celebrates your path. There's never been another one like you, and hopefully you're learning to love and celebrate you. You might affirm, like Louise would say, I love, accept, and approve of you exactly as you are, and give yourself that boost, that love, and look into your eyes and connect with yourself and say that. You could also affirm, here it is again, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. That means just the way you are. Even if there's problems, I love, accept, and approve of myself exactly as I am. Here's another one for this wonderful lesson. Each of my achievements, big or small, is a testament to my individual strength and beauty. Everything I do, every achievement, small or big or small, is a testament to my individual strength and beauty. So you are as God created you. This is another line from another beautiful songbook. You are as God created you, in the light and the love and the glory. You are whole, complete, and perfect. So you could say to yourself and embrace this affirmation, each of my achievements, big or small, is a testament to my individual strength and my beauty. So this is all wonderful. Another time people were raised thinking putting yourself first was not the thing to do, but of course, Louise Hay set that all straight. You've heard of the airlines, as if there's a problem, the masks are dropping. You put the mask on yourself first before you're going to be able to help anybody else. And this is the same idea. Loving yourself needs to happen first, because if you don't have that, you really can't extend much love to anyone else. Socrates encouraged knowing yourself. Shakespeare advised us. They're all saying the same thing. Know yourself, love yourself. To thine own self be true. Take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is a divine gift, and it's a responsibility. So we're here to learn to know ourselves. That's inscribed in the walls of Delphi. And we're here to know to our own selves be true, and that taking care of ourselves is both a divine gift and a responsibility. It's more than okay to love yourself. The universe itself encourages you to do so. Louise Hay always said in her interviews and the things that she wrote that the bottom line for people is that they don't love themselves enough. And she claimed to have spoken to thousands of people. And when you set all the the surface complaints aside, she'll say that's the underlying issue. It's self-esteem and this inner criticism that we have. And she went on to say, as we really begin to love ourselves, everything starts to change. Everything starts to improve. And that's, from that point, is where we can really then share our love with others. In this lesson, I want to emphasize embracing self-care is embracing the universe's plan for our own for our own well-being. If anyone is struggling with self-acceptance, you might say to yourself, every part of me is worthy of love and acceptance. So if you're troubled with appearance, or you're troubled with behavior, or if you're troubled with any aspect of your life, a good affirmation would be, every part of me is worthy of love and acceptance. I love myself the way I am. Or you might also add, the universe is guiding me towards unconditional self-love. I remember facilitating a group in Miami many, many years ago, and there was a very beautiful woman. We were all astonished because, we're doing mirror work, and she just could not hold the mirror up and say, I love, accept, and approve of me. And that was a lesson for all of us. Wherever we are, we're on a continuum. We're moving towards self-appreciation and self-love, and begin wherever you are. As I remember that very important group for all of us, this particular lady was able to start to say, I'm beginning to like you. I'm beginning to like you as a person. So wherever we are in this continuum, begin where we are. The affirmation that I have here is, every part of me is worthy of love and acceptance. So even if you've made mistakes, again, you're not a mistake, and you begin wherever you are. Louise would say it's like cleaning a house. Where whatever thought that's critical, whatever way you deem yourself to be not acceptable, begin there and neutralize that thought, release the need for it. If you come to the science of mind, Ernest Holmes would say, in our affirmative prayer process, in the glossary, it's the time, it's the art, it's the effort of ridding that negation, that negativity from within you, so you can experience the truth. And the truth is that you're whole and you're complete, and that the universe and God is here in this moment. So we work on it wherever we are. All these questions, though, can show us where our blind spots are. The next affirmation, the universe is guiding me toward unconditional self-love. And for all of us to start believing in life's goodness will help us accept ourselves whole, with our flaws and everything else. When I was making my notes, I put, to err is human. Yes, to err is human. When I was younger, I used to hear, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Each of us are individualizations of God's Spirit, so we're here to give and we're here to forgive. We will make mistakes while we're learning, while we're growing, and that's normal and that's natural. It's the human way. We often make many mistakes until we learn something, to do something in a new way or a better way. Do you have a lot of fears or worries? I'll throw that question out to the audience. And if you do, you might say to yourself, my fears are just stepping stones. And I brought this up earlier in the lesson. My fears and the conditions I'm going through, the things I've been through, have all just been stepping stones. The universe uses all of it to bring me to a higher place, to guide me towards maybe having greater strength, greater courage, greater self-confidence, greater self-realization. Seeing failure and rejection through the lens of your life's journey turns the things that have happened in our life, we see them as growth. I remember reading the Celestine Prophecy years ago and teaching a class on that. And one of the manuscripts in the Celestine Prophecy suggested we take the long view. In other words, it's like looking at your life from a distance. Some of the toughest moments have been the things that have given us the greatest amount of insight, the greatest growth. But in our day-to-day living, often we forget who we are. Louise spoke to that in the songbook. Hal Joseph, I think, sang the song. And the lyric was remembering and forgetting. It's the game that we play. The more you stay tuned into doing the spiritual work and you do your meditations and you tune into our broadcast, we're going to cause you to remember. Because we're going to keep on telling you that you are one with the one, that you have power, that you're valuable, and that you have everything you need. You have everything. You're fully equipped to handle whatever life presents to you. But we forget that. Sometimes people tell me they read Louise Hay, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or The Science of Mind, and then they forgot. So part of what we're learning here is to keep remembering and keep affirming and building up this affirmative knowledge and have this conversation get permanently altered. We're actually creating neural pathways, and we're strengthening those pathways with our affirmations. So we get off track. The only thing I can say to people is keep tuned in, keep tuning in, keep doing your meditation, keep doing your journaling. When we stray from our inner voice, we want to have a way to reconnect. So find a way to stay tuned into it. The universe is always whispering that you do have an internal guidance system. The universe is whispering to you, wooing you back to get in touch with your inner knowing. Faith in life's journey will strengthen your trust. So Louise would say, I trust in the process of life. So building up your consciousness and having faith in life's journey will cause you to have greater reliance on your own intuition. Remember, a lot of us are on a spiritual journey on this call. Each of us here are here to learn, and we're here to grow. Trusting the process of life means opening ourselves up to the flow of spiritual growth and healing. It's also about letting go of what doesn't work, what no longer serves us, and embracing the truth of us. And this is a process that lovingly is supported by Spirit within. All of life is conspiring towards your advancement. I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson who said the dice of God are always loaded, meaning the lessons that are coming to you are coming, they're coming for you to bring you to a higher place. As Louise Hay taught us, trust life, and you will walk hand in hand with Spirit. So my dad used to say, Spirit won't be the uninvited guest. So the suggestion here is invite it in. You have this awareness within yourself. Be still and know that it's there. Let it speak to you. Allow yourself some meditative time. Ask questions like, what's the most self-loving thing I can do about anything? And the answer quietly comes, the first answer. So loving ourselves is what we do here in this class. It's a call. This class is a call for us to celebrate our own human potentialities and our gifts. Louise Hay will ask us to cherish our life and our encounters every step of the journey, knowing that we're guided, loved, and supported every step of the way. I wanted to go into another little section in tonight's class. And the question is, who am I beyond the roles and responsibilities that I play in life? And that's a very good question. It's a big question. So I'll throw it out to you. Who am I beyond my roles and my responsibilities? I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a minister, I'm a manager, whatever it is, a mom, a sister, an aunt, a grandmother. And my responsibilities, there's a long list. But the question still is the question. Who am I beyond these roles and responsibilities that we have? And I want you to have a moment to think about it, because I'm going to give you a metaphysical answer. Who are you beyond all these things, your roles and your responsibilities? And from a New Thought perspective, or from a metaphysical point of view, at our core, beyond any role you play and responsibility that you have, You are an infinite being. You're an infinite individualization of God life. You are an individualization of energy and consciousness. We're not just our jobs. We're only here for a brief time. We're not our jobs, and we're not just our family roles or positions. What we are, each and all of us, are the embodiment of love, creativity, energy, and divine potential. So that's something to think about. An affirmation I love with that is, I am as God created me, in the life, in the light, and the love, and the glory. So there's a question. Who am I beyond my roles and responsibilities? So here's an invitation to step up into that, because you're really something amazing, and sometimes we forget that. Let me see. I have another good question for everyone. Big question. What is my purpose in life? And how am I aligning with it right now? Those are questions they put on minister exams and practitioner exams. What is my purpose in life? And how am I aligning with it? So if any of you have any answers for that, just jot it down. These are good questions also to journal about. From our teaching would suggest, or New Thought would suggest, that our purpose in life has very little to do with our physical and material achievements, the things that we have spent so much time on. From a spiritual perspective, a New Thought perspective, our purpose is to evolve. Our purpose is to grow as spiritual beings. Our purpose is to experience and express love and compassion and understanding. Our purpose is always going to be about aligning with our spiritual self, which always guides us towards experiences that help us grow and expand in consciousness. So that's a good question. You could journal on that. From a spiritual perspective, a new thought perspective, our purpose again is to evolve and grow spiritually. So I have one more question for you. And what are the beliefs and values that truly define you? So the New Thought answer to this, well, first of all, I want you to think about it. What are the beliefs and values that truly define you? If you have anything that comes to mind, you could jot it down. Otherwise, come back to this lesson, because it does ask some really great questions. The New Thought answer, the metaphysical answer to that question is, the beliefs and values that truly define us are those that resonate deeply inside of us. They're not just social norms or societal expectations, but the deep inner truths that we hold sacred. And that could include beliefs in interconnectedness, oneness, love, compassion, and the importance of personal growth and self-awareness, and a belief in a universal consciousness. Our true values are reflected in how we treat ourselves and how we treat others and how we connect with the world. They are guiding principles that shape our thoughts and our actions and our very being. So as we ponder these questions that I put together for you tonight, let's remember Louise Hay's affirmations that align with self-discovery and purpose. And here they are. I'm open and receptive to life's lessons. I'll repeat, I'm open and receptive to life's lessons. And of course, keeping in mind everything is a lesson. Next, I'm open to discovering new aspects of myself. That goes back to what I was talking about Socrates, where he would advise, know yourself. So let's be open to discovering new aspects of ourselves. The next, every day I move closer to realizing my true purpose. So through meditation and through affirmative prayer and aligning yourself with the realization that you are one with the One, every day we're moving closer to realizing our true purpose. Another affirmation, a powerful one. I embrace the journey of self-questioning as a path to deeper self-awareness. So ask these questions of yourself and trust that the answers will come to you. I'm giving you some of the answers, but it's better that they come to you from yourself. Ask, 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 and Spirit within will always answer. You've heard before. Knock, and the door will open to you. I have one more section. In the next section, we get into the delicate interplay between our feelings and our thoughts. And this is important to talk about because we can see how this dance shapes our self-esteem and our personal sense of ourself. As Louise often reminded us, our feelings are a direct reflection of our thoughts. Okay, that's an important thing to think about. Our feelings are a direct reflection of our thoughts. As a therapist, I used to be told our feelings follow our thoughts. And so that's consistent with what Louise is teaching. Louise, again, was teaching us that our feelings are a direct reflection of our thoughts. They are like a mirror showing us what we believe and think most often. So let's explore this a little with a gentle reminder here. Our feelings, these are affirmations. Our feelings are valid, but they're not always the full truth. Our feelings are signposts which guide us to understand our deeper thoughts and beliefs. With this understanding, let's embrace affirmations that can help us. That can help us balance and trust our feelings while being mindful of the thoughts that give rise to the feelings. You might say, I honor my feelings as signals guiding me to my deeper awareness. This particular affirmation encourages us to respect our emotions as indicators, not dictators, but indicators of our inner state. So, I was told years ago in a 12-step program, feelings are not facts. So this affirmation, I honor my feelings as signals that will guide me to deeper self-awareness. And that's a great affirmation. This affirmation encourages us to respect our emotions as indicators, not dictators of our inner state. Another affirmation that might be helpful, I'm mindful of my thoughts, knowing that they shape my emotional world. Again, I'm mindful of my thoughts. We pay attention to our thinking, knowing that they shape my emotional world. With this affirmation, we acknowledge the power of our thoughts in creating our emotional landscape. So we want to be committed to nurturing positive and empowering thoughts. We have a lot of negative thoughts, many of us. And perhaps, we have a lot of people on this call who have been working on themselves for many months, many years, and a lot of you are very positive thinkers. But, the world at large isn't that way. So we come here, we learn to be mindful of our thinking, knowing that our thinking shapes our emotional world. And again, here we acknowledge the power of our thoughts in creating our emotional landscape. So we're committed to nurturing positive and empowering thoughts. You'll hear me say, never, never, never criticize yourself, or stop in the name of the love. Wherever you find yourself doing the negative thinking, stop. And just find a way to neutralize it and notice what's coming up for you underneath it all. An affirmation for you. I trust in my ability to navigate my emotions with wisdom and clarity. Again, I trust in my ability to navigate my emotions with wisdom and clarity. This particular statement affirms our capacity to understand and manage our emotions, recognizing their transient nature. So our feelings are fluid. And so to further cultivate this understanding, consider these reflective practices. Once again, our feelings are not facts. They're oftentimes our emotions are transient in nature. So to help us better manage our emotions and to further cultivate understanding, here's some things to consider. Keep a journal, what we call a thought and feeling journal, a daily journal where you note your predominant thinking and the feelings that your thoughts evoke. It's really simple, how I'm feeling and what your thoughts are. Or do it, probably the better way is to write down, what your thinking has been and what you're feeling like, because you're going to start to see how they interplay with one another. This practice helps in identifying patterns and understanding how your thoughts influence your emotional responses. Another thing that is good is our mindfulness meditations. You can engage in regular mindfulness meditations, focusing and observing your thoughts and feelings without any kind of judgment about either. This practice will enhance your ability to witness your inner world with greater clarity and compassion. The next is affirmative reflection, and this will come naturally to anybody who's involved in religious science or deeply involved in the Louise Hay work. More and more time with affirmative thinking. And all the research I've been doing this past couple of months show that you can replace old thought patterns with new. And just the more you say them, the more you repeat them, the more impassioned you become with the new thoughts. It'll build up your consciousness, and it will create new pathways and avenues in mind, literally. So this will gradually shift your emotional responses towards more empowering and more positive feelings. Remember, our journey towards self-esteem and autonomy, being who we are, is not about dismissing feelings at all, but it's about understanding their roots in our thoughts. And by becoming aware of how they interact. As we become aware, we empower ourselves to navigate our emotional world with greater wisdom and balance. This journey that we're all on is about embracing all the parts of ourselves and understanding the language of our emotions and using this knowledge to live a life of authenticity and purpose. So we're here to live authentically. We're here to love, accept, and approve of ourselves. Within all of us is a divine spark of life. We're each individualizations of this great life. We're one with the one. You could say we're sons and daughters of the Most High. All of this language reminds us that our true essence is something spectacular, and it lies within us, waiting to be discovered and honored and used. So here's a couple more questions for you. What does authentic living mean to you? I wrote down one example. Imagine your life as a garden. What plants, flowers, and landscape would you personally cultivate to represent your inner self? So, Ralph Waldo Emerson was always encouraging us to be the best version of ourselves, to be a thinker. So what does that authentic living mean to you personally? And how can you nurture it more to grow your unique self, your unique beauty? Another question, how can I make choices that are more aligned with my higher self? And my notes for you here is, by recalling the moments where you felt a deep sense of peace and happiness. These are the times when your choices were in harmony with your higher self. As you reflect on those times of success, they'll help you understand the alignment that we always strive for with our inner wisdom. Another question, in what ways can I honor my needs, my desires, and my values? And again, think about the things that bring you happiness, that bring you closer to living the life that you want. Take steps and move in that direction. Plant these seeds in your garden of self that will nurture your true nature. So again, take steps in the direction of the things that make you happy. Plant those seeds in your garden. Another affirmation, we're going to need to wind down because of time. I am courageously journeying toward my inner self, embracing its wisdom and light. You might say that to yourself. I'm courageously journeying toward my inner self, embracing its wisdom and light. And this is an affirmation, a pledge to continually seek to honor and love yourself. My choices are guided by my inner wisdom, honoring my true desires and values. Remembering always that everyone's on a spiritual journey and everyone is in the perfect time and place. Now I want to move into a couple affirmations to conclude for this evening's session. I'm on a journey of self-love and growth, recognizing and releasing self-sabotage. This is important because sometimes we're working against ourselves. So I am on a journey of self-love and growth, recognizing and releasing self-sabotage. Every day in every way, I move closer to my true self, embracing my path with kindness. I am my own ally, my thoughts and actions reflecting self-compassion and understanding. And as for our ending, as we draw our session to a close, and we're going to have time for personal sharing in just a moment, let's reflect on a fundamental truth from this particular evening. Loving ourselves is not an act of selfishness, it's a profound necessity. It's a wellspring from which all forms of love and goodness flow. You can't really contribute much to the world's healing and happiness until you find peace and love within yourself. So it all begins with us. Many of us are eager to make a positive impact, to be of service to others. Yet the journey to external change begins internally. When we nurture self-love, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our personal boundaries. Our inner peace becomes a beacon of hope and healing for everyone. If I touch you and I touch you, and it goes out and it goes out, it's not a small thing to transform your consciousness. Remember, every thought we think, every thought we nurture, every word we tell ourselves is sculpting our reality. Neuroplasticity, which I've been studying so much the past month, teaches us that our brains are malleable. They're capable of forming new positive pathways at any age. So that's hopeful for all of us. So there's new ways of thinking, and the more we work with our affirmations, the more passionate we are about our affirmations, they will take root, and we change our thinking, we will change our life. So by constantly shifting our internal dialogue to one of self-love and to a positive, affirming dialogue, we're not just changing our mindset, we're transforming our lives. So let's all commit to building a kinder, more loving conversation with ourselves. Each and every positive thought is a step towards a more compassionate world, starting with ourselves. And then now we transition from this lesson to our shared space, where I always look forward to hearing what you're learning, how you're practicing these lessons. And this question always is, what has that conversation been like with you? Has it been thumbs up? Have you been kind to yourself? What are you learning, and what are you doing, and how are you utilizing these lessons? So thank you all for listening and being here. It's a pleasure, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one who wants to share. If you're new, just say, hi, I'm new, and where you're from. It'd be nice to hear from you. So thank you all. We'll see you all on the other side of the break.